It was a case of mistaken identity that ended a man's life, and now the city of Phoenix is paying for it. Thank you for joining us for 12 News at 10. I'm Troy Hayden. Today, the city council approved a settlement for the death of 30-year-old Henry Rivera. He was shot and killed by Phoenix police officers back in 2019. 12 News journalist Chase Golightly joins us live outside PD headquarters. All right, give us the background, Chase. What happened here?
Yeah, Troy, Phoenix police thought Rivera was the suspect at the center of a crime spree from back in 2019. Now, all these years later, the city will pay Rivera's family $1.2 million.
This was a huge tragedy that could have been avoided.
Phoenix City Councilwoman Ana Hernandez upset with how police mistook 30-year-old Henry Rivera for 24-year-old Edison Noyola. In 2019, Noyola was wanted for shooting 3 people and kidnapping his girlfriend. A mistake that cost Rivera his life and a wrongful death lawsuit against the city.
Just a family man. I know that everything he did was for us. Everything he did was for the kids.
Rivera's fiancée, Natalie Mejia, speaking with us shortly after his death. Mejia says she, Rivera, and their 2 young kids were moving to Colorado to start a new life when they decided to stay at this motel near 19th Avenue in Van Buren. It was here where Phoenix police got word Noyola and his kidnapped girlfriend were staying. The lawsuit wrote police surrounded the motel and got Mejia to come out with her kids, believing she was the wife. But it said officers never asked Mejia to identify herself. Rivera ran from the motel. His fiancée says it's because he had warrants out for his arrest for minor crimes. Police said Rivera hopped over fences and stole a car. It eventually ended with him getting out of that car to run again, but the lawsuit says Rivera only made it a few steps before Phoenix police shot him in the back. It also says police never asked Rivera to identify himself during this whole encounter. Attorneys for Rivera's family who filed this lawsuit said if police took the time to ask Rivera or his fiancée to identify themselves, police would know they weren't the people they were after, and Rivera would still be alive.
We know that officers not taking adequate time to work. The process was directly addressed by the chief recently.
Hernandez asking new Phoenix Police Chief Matt Giordano what he's doing to make sure something like this doesn't happen again.
Some expectations are slowing down, taking time, communicating at the scene amongst officers on scene, making sure we all know what we're doing.
Giordano says he's implemented communication training that should be completed by the end of the year, adding this is an area officers will continue to work on.
We're making a concentrated effort in doing so.
Now, there's no court record of charges that were filed against those police officers who fired their weapons. As for Noyola, the suspect that police were after that day, he was actually arrested the day after Rivera was shot. He's now serving time in prison for those crimes he committed in 2019. We're live in downtown Phoenix. Chase Golightly, 12 News.
But Chase, we still don't know what the exact circumstances were that led to the actual shooting. The lawsuit, I know, says that the man was shot in the back. Obviously, that's not typical police procedure, but none of these officers were ever fired or reprimanded, as we know of in this case, right?
Right at this time, we believe that they were not reprimanded in any way. And like I said, we were going through the court records to see if there was any indictment or charges filed against them, and we weren't able to find anything like that in our court record search. So yes, it appears that they weren't reprimanded or anything for that situation that happened that day.
All right, Chase, thank you for the report tonight.